Yo, welcome to the KaneSaid Sports Show, and I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. And y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Get this thing popping. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. And y'all know my name, Kane Bradfield. And you know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Listen, I got a special guest in the house, man. Listen, dogs of all dogs, when it comes to that world of swimming, how you doing, big dog?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great. What up, coach?
What up, coach?
You know what I mean? Listen, man, let people know who y'all are, man.
Yeah, all right. My name is Jaxon.
Okay. Jack, you got a last name too, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your last name, baby?
My name is Jaxon Kite. Yeah, I go to Point University.
Okay.
West Point, Georgia. You know, I'm a fifth-year senior.
Yes,
swimming
sir.
And everything like that.
Okay.
I've been here at Clockwork for a while, a couple months.
Okay.
The summer, it's great. I'm loving
Perfect,
it.
man. Perfect, man. How about you, Coach?
Coach Malone, you know, a lot of you guys know me, especially the folks that send their kids over here and trust them to be a part of this, what we got going on over here. I've enjoyed working with Jaxon over the past several months. His intensity is amazing, and it makes it easier for me as a trainer,
Yeah.
you know, when I have somebody that really dials in and to work.
And most definitely, man. So listen, man, big dog. Thank y'all for, you know what I'm saying, for just pulling up at the KaneSaid, you know what I mean? So, man, so you're a swimmer, man. Let me tell you something, man. I have had my run-ins with swimmers, man, and I've been enjoying my times, training swimmers personally, right? I know Coach Malone been spending time with you, you know what I'm saying, training you, man. But let's go back for a minute. How did you fall in love with swimming, man?
It all started when I was like 11 or 12. I used to be the fat kid on the block.
Okay. Where you from, though?
I'm from Columbus.
Okay.
From Columbus, Georgia, yeah.
Okay.
And so I started swimming with the Columbus Hurricanes when I was 12. I fell in love with it. It was one of the few things that I was good at when I was younger. I tried wrestling and baseball, and I was terrible at it. My dad, he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame as a referee.
What?
Paul Kite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he tried to get me into all these other things, and then it was my mom that got me into swimming. And so I tried it. I enjoyed it. I liked doing it.
Yeah.
I even loved it more when I slimmed up and
Right. So look, let me ask you though. So you know what I mean? So you did swim when younger. Now did you play other sports or swimming was just your
well, I was swimming. I started swimming after I got my first degree black belt in karate. I didn't have anything else to do.
Okay.
Like goal wise for that, and so I didn't have anything motivating me. So my mom pushed me into swimming, and I'd always loved getting in the ocean and the pool. Like when I was younger,
Yeah.
my grandfather would throw me out in the ocean with a little pool noodle, and
Okay.
he'd just watch me float in. It'd scare my mom half to death, but
Right.
I got into swimming because of it, and I just loved the water.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Quick story. Man, I learned how to swim, well, partially learned how to swim about 6-7 years ago, right? You know, I'm all my life, man, not even really getting into water, right? So one day, man, my wife, man, and she was like, Kane, like, I can't, because she love water. She's like, Kane, I can't enjoy the vacation because you don't like to get in the water, right? So Buzz, you're a coach.
Right.
You're a coach. I don't know if he told you about it. Coach Buzz taught me how to swim. He told you that?
Yeah, he told me that.
He did? Yeah.
I was asking him, I said, hey, you know, what should I do for the gym and stuff like that? I've been hiring Buzz a little bit after a conference in March.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, like, what should I do for the gym? I haven't been lifting in a while. Like, what do I do? And he said, well, you only need to lift, like, really 2 times a week, but I'm going to put you on. There's a guy I taught how to swim, and I'm like, great.
He taught me how to swim. Yo,
so I'm going to give you his number. He
Yeah.
said, look, I taught him how to swim. He's good for it.
Yeah. No lie, man. He taught me how to swim, man. So I surprised her on that trip. Like, you know what I mean? We always at the pool, and I just jumped in that thing to start. And it was
Scared
weird,
half
though.
to death.
I was scared, bro. Like, in 3.5 feet, coach. I was 3.5 feet, and I started, like, tripping out a little bit. Everybody like, stand up. So I stood up, but, hey, I can swim a little bit. You feel me?
Right.
Not like you though, my boy. Not like you. So, all right, B-Dog, go ahead, man. So at 11, give me more.
Right, yeah. So I started swimming. It wasn't until high school there's a coach in Columbus now. His name is Andrew Beggs.
Okay.
His girlfriend, Leah Gingrich, she has been qualifying for the Olympic trials.
Okay.
The past couple of times for the 200 butterfly.
Okay.
She's insane. And so he really brought the program into a new light. And so whenever high school came around, I was qualifying for state every year. I was qualifying for all these big meets, and I was swimming really, really well. And I fell in love with everything once I had him as my coach. Yeah.
I like that, man. I like that, man. So, Coach, you know what I mean? You've been dealing with him, man, for how long we hitting on right now?
We're going on about 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah, since like March,
Yep.
April, March.
Wow.
April, March, yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? You seeing him, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, you know, I come in, I see you guys going in. You're a worker, too. You know what I mean? You definitely a worker. So, Coach, what do you see in him, Coach? You know, what are them things that you see that he possessed, man, that's rare?
It's a culmination of things, honestly, Coach. It's a little bit of everything. You know, you talk about those perfect storms, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jaxon has that perfect storm mentality. You know, he comes in, he gets his work in, but he's not only working with me. He does his own. He does units. 450 a day. Now a unit is like one body squat,
push-up
or one push-up
Right.
or one dip. But he's doing 450 in addition to the time that he spends with Coach Buzz in the pool. You know, I tell you, you know, we get athletes in here and you feel them out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you find out their intensity. Well, and then you try and break them.
Right.
Well, I haven't been able to break Jaxon yet.
Wow.
And, you know,
He's a worker.
He's a worker.
I had to start off at 300 units a day. There was a swimmer, Alexander Popov, from like the 80s.
I know Popov.
Yeah. And so he said, Russian guy, he said that he did 600 units a day. And so I started at 300, and so each week I've been building up a little bit, and I got up to 440, and so that's where I'm at.
Okay, now break the units down again. Break down again.
So
I was trying to follow.
So it's like assortment of push-ups, squats, crunches, dips,
Calisthenics
pull-ups,
mainly.
whatever
Body
whatever
weight.
It is, but it just
How many reps though?
It adds up.
Each unit is one.
Each unit is one, so it adds up to be that number.
So it might be 100 push-ups.
So if I'm on 440 this week and I do 440 a day, I might do like 120 push-ups, 120 air squats, 120 crunches, and then like
To equal 4.
yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And that's in addition to the other things. So like I said, he's dialed in, you know. I heard a rumor that some of them swim records that are hanging up at Point University,
He's going to get them.
they might not be hanging there anymore.
Oh, they're gone.
They're
gone.
I love it.
They're gone.
That's what I want to hear, baby.
That's that mentality that I'm
Yeah.
talking about, Coach.
You know,
It's that he's taking over.
Okay,
You know?
but now, what did that mentality come from though? I mean, is it genetically or just, you know what I mean, that lock-in mentality? Where'd it come from?
Like just going after it,
Yeah.
grinding. I think it comes from my parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, they always told me from like a young age to say, hey, like if you pick something, you do it, or if like you have your mindset on something, you do it, you shoot for it, you go for it. But like you got to put in the work. You may not be the tallest, you may not be the strongest, you may not be the fastest, but all these people that have talent, if you outwork them, you know you're gonna be better than they are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And everything, really.
Yes, sir. Right.
I mean, that applies
Right.
to life.
Right.
You know?
Right. So okay, now, so let's talk about you at Point. Now you said it's your 5th year.
Right.
Talk about your development from a freshman year to now.
Being at Point University, I actually got a little bit slower swimming wise than I was in high school.
Okay.
And I haven't seen the improvement that I wanted to see until my senior year. I had been doing everything that coach had asked me, my college coach had asked me, and I still wasn't happy with it. And I have dreams and goals and aspirations of qualifying for Olympic trials. And so I saw Buzz at the pool one day, and I reached out, and then one thing led to another, and now Buzz has been my coach for 9 months since March.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me say something though, and it's important too. You know what I'm saying? You just told the importance of supplementing. You know what I mean? You told the importance of adding more to your program. Because again, I tell people this all the time, Coach. You and I talk about this all the time too. Like, you know, so when it comes to people, you know what I'm saying, workout regimen, you know, with their particular school, right? Some people just need more stuff. Well, actually, I think everybody needs more stuff.
Right.
But if you're trying to be elite, you got to go get a guy like Coach Buzz. You got to get a guy like Coach Malone. You know what I mean? So those things. So again, man, at what point did you say, I need more? I need more.
Was it a plateau factor?
Right.
Did you feel like you hit?
Yeah. So after conference, my senior year, I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay.
I was like, you know, I've been at this university, and I've done everything that I've been asked to do, and I was grinding out the pool.
Yeah.
I was swimming 4 hours Monday through Friday, and then 2 hours on Saturday. So I was putting in like 22 hours worth of pool time, and not even factoring in the gym and everything, and just everything that we had been doing, and it was just this big plateau, and I had just seen little to no improvement, and so I was just fed up with it, and I was like, you know, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to achieve my goals if I had just stayed in the same spot. And so I was seeing a counselor at point, and I changed my mentality on it.
Okay, hold on. Wind it back now. I like that. Give me that again. Say that again.
So I was seeing a counselor. I was realizing, you know, I've been putting so much emphasis on the physical, and that I had to have some mental training and some mental strength too.
Yes, sir.
Because it's that second level. And as the summer was going on, I was realizing, you know, God has just been putting so many people in my life. You know, it was first with Buzz, and then he introduced me to you, and then he introduced me to Malone, and then I met a guy at the pool. His name is Patrick, right? Patrick Aviati. I hope he listens or hears this eventually. But
he definitely will.
Yeah, he used to be the strength and conditioning coach for University of Michigan. So every time I see him, he's always talking to me. He says, "Hey, you know, there are 3 levels of training. The first level is physical. It's the one that everybody puts a lot of emphasis on, but it's the least important. The second level is mental. So that's something that some people do, and it's more important than physical. It'll get you leaps and bounds." And he said, but then the third level, which is something that hardly anybody does, that you have to bridge into if you want to be the best of the best, and it's a spiritual training.
Come on, man.
Being closer to God.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what it is. And so
Come on, man.
Over the summer, you know, I found a church that I like going to. The pastor is the dad of some of the kids that I coach for swimming. And so it's just full circle.
Yeah.
Everything's getting closer.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer to God, getting closer to Jesus, and he's giving me the strength to grind out through some of these workouts that Marc's been kicking my ass with.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not me relying on myself, it's me relying on God to lift me up and keep going.
Well, it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a team.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about that at the very beginning about me and you being on a team. You know, having to communicate with each other, and you know, and God's part of that also. Your higher power is, you know, whomever you look up to, you know, is part of that.
Right.
You know, it's a teamwork. You know, you know, you can't do it yourself. You know, you have to have a support group, and the mental health aspect is huge. You know, I'm glad that you brought that up, because it is something that, you know, we talk about a lot here at Clockwork is your mental health and making sure that you're mentally prepared. You know, we have something that's kind of going on right now, Coach. We call it Jazzy Week.
Yeah.
You know, Jazzy Week isn't about physical as much as it is mental toughness.
Yeah.
You know, because folks want to stop they want to stop pushing that sled.
Right.
Their body's like, no,
I can't do it. My
can't
mind,
do it no more.
Mind shutting down.
But you can.
Right.
Physically, you can. You know, so it's about that mental willpower, and it's about that mental strength, you know, to battle through. You know, when your mind's telling you you're not, your body still wants it. You know? So it's great that you brought up mental health, because at the end of the day, like you said, that's one of the main pillars and success.
So, okay, big dog. So let me ask you this. You know what I'm saying? Now that you are you're completely locked in, man, how do you pull your teammates in
Great question.
to feel what you feel, or to even try to get closer to what you're trying to do?
Um, well, recently at practice, I've kind of been a little bit distance from my teammates. They're all doing, like the set that our college coach gives them, and then I'm doing the set that Buzz gives me. But I'm really hoping to pull them all together whenever I kick their ass at our first swim meet.
Right.
And so whenever I'm going off, they're like, "Oh man, this Joker's moving."
Yeah.
And I think that'll rally them up. Hey, how are you doing this? Hey, you need to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah. You need cheeses, my boy. Yeah. But hey, I love that, man. So you know what I mean? So I think that's one thing that's good when it comes to, as elite athletes is being able to rally the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Because now, talk to them about it, because again, man, I've trained a swimmer, you know what I mean? But I'm not familiar with the breakdown of how things are how things are did. So talk to me about how, you get points. How do you qualify for the Olympics? Like, give me that process.
So it's just like track or like cross country in that regard. So like, as long as you just meet the time standard, you get to go. Yeah. So like
you're racing against the clock.
Right. So we're just racing against the clock, racing against ourselves. But like there are points. So like whenever you're swimming in college, whenever you're swimming in meets and such like that, your placement you'll get points. And, the higher points you have, better scoring for your team. But if you want to qualify for nationals or the Olympic trials, you just need the time standard.
So okay, so like, you know what I mean? So what sets you apart from, okay, man, you at Point, right? Point out of Power 5 school.
Right.
Man, how do you set yourself apart from that? Like, you know what I mean? So how did you compete against something like that? You know what I mean? Because it seems like typically, you know the word is saying, Power 5 get all the attention, they get all the what's name. But you at Point, man, how do you, what the word I'm trying to use? Coach, you can help me out on this. How do you
separate yourself,
position yourself?
Yep. Right.
Being at a smaller school.
There we go.
I mean, being at a smaller, like, are you?
I mean, it's the time,
like,
right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying this though, like,
so you could be going to any school.
How do you okay? For example, man.
As long as you get invited to the meets, though, right?
Right. So who submits your times? Because I'm gonna be honest, right?
Right.
Typically, smaller schools don't do that type of stuff. They don't really submit time.
Right. So,
they don't really take advantage of.
The qualification for the Olympic trials, I have to do that outside of college, anyways.
Now we talk. Okay. Now you clear me up.
Yeah. Okay. So everything college is short course yards, right? And then Olympic trial qualification, it's long course meters. So it's a different pool, different time standards, different competition. I have to do it over the summer to do the qualifying times. But then you can convert the times to yards to have a good idea what to go for.
But where do you go and get the time? I mean, can you do it at your? I mean, like.
I think the Georgia
how do they
Olympics,
How do they police the time to make sure?
The Georgia Olympics is a qualifying.
Well, there's so like USA Swimming, the organization that's over the sport.
Okay.
So if I were to go to just some random long course meet in the middle of nowhere, but it was a USA Swimming sanctioned meet, and everybody had timers and they had the touch pads and I hit the qualifying time, then that time, even if I was in the middle of bum F nowhere, it would still qualify me to go.
I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
As long as it's sanctioned by U.S.
Now I'm
Swimming.
with you now. Okay. So, Big Dog, talk about your parents for a second, man. Talk about their involvement of you just developing as a man. Give me that.
My parents have been a big part of my life. They split up. They got divorced when I was in the second grade, and so that was a bit rough. But my dad has always been, that figure of pushing forward in sports.
Yeah.
But my mom has always been that backbone that believes in me, and even my stepmom has believed in me a whole lot, and she helped me out a whole lot in high school.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't really start showing up to my swim meets until I started whooping everybody in high school.
Right.
And so once I was winning and everything, he started showing up.
yeah. That's my son.
It's like, that's my kid.
Yeah, that's him. Right. I dig that.
My mom, she goes to all my meets that she can. She has a real big job. She's a Southeastern Regional Sales Manager for Telecor.
Okay. I love it. So, Coach, this question for you, Coach. You know what I'm saying? When you are creating his program, man, talk about the communication you guys have.
Well, a lot of it's like I mentioned before. It's a team deal. Like communication's everything.
Right.
I need to know what he's doing in the pool with Buzz, and we've had to adjust. I've worked him really hard in certain instances that kind of put him back and where he wasn't able to perform in the pool like he's wanted to. So we've had to adjust throughout this process, days, time, some to get around his school time, class schedule and such. But at the end of the day, it's about feeling, it's about communication, it's about being on the same page, knowing what he's hitting in the pool with his other instructors, and knowing what the end goal is. At the end of the day, he's trying to get stronger at certain points of his body that translate more to the pool.
Right.
He's trying, if you think about it, I'm not a swimmer. I'm not a swim coach. So I'm not going to take speed or increase speed by his mechanics in the pool. But what I can do is I can make that off the block faster. I can make those turns faster. I can make those dynamic motions shave tenths of a seconds off of those times. And so that's what we focus on is more of the dynamic, the fast twitch. We strength train, but we strength train in specific areas so that it obviously translates to the pool.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So now, Big Dog, we're going to talk about this for a second, man. We're going to talk about, who are some people, man, that you have watched over the years who do what you do or did what you do?
Like swimmers that I look up to?
Yeah. You a Phelps fan? Michael Phelps?
I like Phelps, but I like Dressel more than I like
Okay, tell me why.
Yeah.
Give it to me, though.
So Phelps is the greatest swimmer of all time.
Okay.
Just no one has the range of competition that he has. So he can swim from the 100 up to the 400, a variety of different events. There's no other swimmer like it. Dressel's more of a sprinter. He has the fastest short course yards times of any other swimmer. He's an elite level freestyler, and he's the world record holder in the 100 butterfly. So he took Phelps's 100 butterfly record.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he's just great sprinter. Another sprinter that I like to watch a lot, he gallops in the pool just a little bit like I do on one side, so he's a little lopsided, is Kyle Chalmers. He's an Australian. Very fast, very good. He's the world record holder for the short course 100-meter time.
Okay.
Right, and then a swimmer that everybody has their eyes on right now is David Popovic from Romania. He is the world record holder in the 100-meter freestyle right now. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
He can go like that?
Yeah, he's just great swimmer. And so watching him, you learn a lot out of it. You learn to stay high on the water, how to push yourself, how to have even rotation on each side. But I like watching Popov. Buzz has been talking to me, and he says, hey, go look at the legacy guys.
Yeah.
Go look at the people that
Yeah.
started everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so Popov is one that I really have enjoyed watching recently. He goes side to side on his freestyle like a kayak, and so I've been incorporating that, and that's been really neat. And there's another swimmer I really like. His name is Michael Klim.
Okay.
He's bald, but he's the guy that started straight arm freestyle. Just the pure sprint stroke, so much power and speed. It's super impressive. And so I've taken some of his drills and I do them in practice. And one of my favorites is dolphin kicking with freestyle arms.
Okay.
So you'll freestyle arm, but you'll dolphin kick at the same time.
I don't know about dolphin kick, man.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to survive in that 3 feet, you know what I mean? So I don't know about that dolphin kick. But Big Dog, let me ask you this, though. When you talk about swimmers, like, what's the ideal body for a swimmer?
Tall.
Long.
Yeah.
All right.
Tall.
Right.
Taller than me. But like, with David Popovic, the new world record holder, it's kind of shattering a lot of perceptions on like what you need to be a fast swimmer. He's tall, yeah. I think he's 6'1", 6'2", so he's like 4 inches taller than I am, but he's really thin. I think he might be my weight, maybe,
Okay.
maybe like a little bit less than what I weigh, but he's just tall and lanky. And then, Dressel, he's 6'2", but he's built like a truck. Like he's a big muscular guy. Florent Manadou from France is this giant swimmer. I think he's 6'4", but he's just jacked
go,
out there. Yeah.
So can you be too muscular to be a swimmer?
I think at a certain point,
It's just in a range of motion, I would think.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, I don't think you're too muscular to be a swimmer. I think it dictates what events you can and can't swim.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's my issue, guys. That's why I can't swim good.
Yeah, you haven't found your event.
I'm too muscular.
Yeah.
That
So,
may
like,
be
Too
it.
muscular. Yeah.
So I think.
Well, you may just not have found your event either.
Right.
Yeah.
Dog paddle.
Right, one of the two. Yeah, I mean,
floating on your back.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, those right
think,
there.
I think the more muscle you have, the better you would be at a shorter sprint event.
Okay.
So like, what is it? It's mass and acceleration. That's speed. So the heavier you are, the faster you'll move through water at the beginning of your race. So like if you're a really big guy and you dive in, you're gonna be moving faster than everybody else.
Because
at
the momentum that you
the
create.
muscle, the weight.
Well, it's their force. Like, it's the same
Yeah.
force I talk about when I teach speed training. It's about the force you put against the ground to push you forward. So it's the same type force you produce with swimming. I'm with you on that.
Right. And so then I feel like once you get to a certain distance, though, you're lugging around all that weight.
Going to be more
It's
streamlined.
it's a technical thing. Swimming is so much based on feel of the water and technique. It's unlike any other sport out there.
Right. So let me ask you this, man. You know what I mean? So let's talk about, like, so of course I'm a former football player. So typically, man, the professional ranks, man, they say the average is about 4 to 5 years, right? Everybody go above that, consider it
Right.
blessed. Man, what's the average lifespan of a professional swimmer?
I think the average lifespan, typically, a swimmer will have elite competition up until right before they're 30. If you can go past 30, then that's considered, that's rare. It's really rare. But there's been an uptake in some older swimmers doing really, really well at competitions recently. I believe there was an Italian. He's 33, maybe 34, 35. He shot through on one of his competitions. He may be the world record holder for the 50 butterfly.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that he had been leaning into more higher intensity short practices and sessions, and so that's helped him compete like at an older age. And so I guess just each person's different. You need your own program in order to compete for like the longevity in the sport.
Yeah. So Coach, this question for you, Coach. You know what I mean? You training, it's a different variety of athletes here at Clockwork. Man, talk about, now you train a swimmer, right? Talk about, man, how much interest have that given you now that you train a swimmer? Like, do you find yourself, going to YouTube and seeing people that dive in that thing? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, as a previous lifeguard,
okay, drop the credentials, baby.
aquatic
Right.
person myself,
Right.
It is different. It's and it's different because it's a team based on sport points, but it's an individual.
Yeah.
Unless you get into some of the medleys or the relay type stuff. But for the most part, it's an individual sport. So you have. It goes back to that mentality. You know what I mean? Again, he's fighting against himself. He's fighting against the time. And so he don't have anything to fall back on. So he has to be mentally prepared. When you're training other athletes, they can slip here, slip there because they can count on their team.
Right.
So it's in addition to the strength training, the speed, agility, and quickness, it's also a mental, like we talked about. And it's huge that he brought that up in the previously. But knowing that you're battling against yourself, that's a hard thing to do.
Man.
And so just dialing in and know like when we're in our sessions, it's almost like he's in the pool session because I'm making him battle against himself. I don't want him to quit, but I'm trying to break him.
Right.
You know? And so that's kind of the difference in training, learning how to train a swimmer. It would be similar to training like maybe a wrestler, like you had mentioned, some of those individual sports that it's all on you at the end of the day. It's not that team atmosphere that we typically do. We're basketball players, soccer, football,
Right.
volleyball, softball, baseball. You got a little wiggle room. And the spotlight's not totally on you. And so in that aspect, we deal differently. In our how we address our sessions. I try and break this dude on every session. But he doesn't let me. Right. He builds. It's a mental toughness thing. It truly is.
I love that. So listen, big dog, leads to my next question, right? So man, give me two of your moments, right? Man, give me first of all, give me the moment where you said, where you felt like, dang, man, is this for me? Right? You give me that moment first. And also give me that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, man, I am super excited about what I do. Now, give me both of them. Give me the failure time, give me the happy time.
I guess one of the failure moments would be when I first started swimming. When I was still a chunky kid, I think it was the first time I had to swim the 100 butterfly, I'm pretty sure. And I swam it, I dove in, my goggles came off, and I was like, man, this sucks.
This ain't for me.
And I had just started swimming. I had just finished the first 50, and I was like, I have to swim another 50. This sucks.
Right.
Goggles are off, arms are tired, legs are tired, everything. It looks terrible. I'm pretty. And
the water won.
I could tell. I could hear everybody like, go, like super like this kid sucks. But and then after the same meet, I just went breaststroke, and I was never really good at breaststroke, and I never really put in time and effort into it until later in high school. But that was another just shock of a race, just dead last.
All right. I mean,
yeah.
If that don't make you question stuff, then we don't know. You know what I mean? So okay, big dog. So flip it now. Give me that time where you like, yo, man, I'm proud of myself. Let me pat myself on the back.
This is my. When was it? It was a swim meet I had. I was turning 18 this weekend, and so I think I was turning 18 that Saturday. And so this is like my last, swim meet with the Hurricanes, my club team before I went off to, or my last short course meet with the Hurricanes before I went off to college. And, I'm shaved, I got my swimsuit on, and I'm ready to go, and I'm showing out. I swam the 200 IM, new best time by like 10 seconds. Swam the 100 free, new best time by like two or 3 seconds. I'm swimming the 100 fly, new best time by 2-3 seconds. I'm whooping. I'm coming in first. I'm doing great. I'm having a ball. I'm just like, man, this is my home pool. This is the home team. This is the home atmosphere. I got my parents up in the stands. The only thing that I regret not doing was I didn't swim finals that Saturday night because it was my birthday and my dad had something planned for me. But I really wanted to swim and just keep showing out.
Yeah, because you're in that zone, right?
Feeling it.
Yeah.
You're in that Michael Jordan zone.
I was just going and going and going. And so I raced Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, and then Saturday night had the birthday thing, and raced Sunday morning, Sunday night. And it was just on fire the whole weekend. And it was just great. And then I proceeded to have a really good summer. I qualified for the long course state championship meet. And that was really good. Had a really great meet. Great time with Hurricanes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. That's some good stuff. So, Big Dog, I'm tell you something, man. So, typically, man, at the end of every show, you know what I'm saying, we do a, leave the viewers and listeners, man, something positive.
Okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, for a few minutes, man, drop it to them, man. Drop some of them diamonds, baby. Coach, you coming up too now.
All right, so just like my little piece of information that are just like, hey, like, this is good.
Yeah. Just whatever's in your heart to leave to somebody. Like, for example, let's say somebody watching this show, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And they need some type of motivation to do whatever they want to do. You giving them that right now.
Look, some days are going to be hard. Some weeks are going to be hard. Some months are going to be hard. Maybe you have a year that's hard. But, nothing is going to be harder than if you look back and you see yourself and you realize that you did nothing with your life and you did nothing to go for it and strive for greatness. I mean, look, like you pick your hard, like waking up and going to school, it's hard. Going to practice is hard. Eating right is hard. But then, on the flip side, not doing those things and living the life of just being lethargic and no energy and lazy, and you think, oh, why is all this happening? That's hard. But the more you work, the harder you work, the more you kick yourself now. You don't, it's for greatness in the future.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, man. Good word, man. Coach, how about you, Big Dog?
I want everybody to know that you are loved. Never feel that you are not loved. Somebody loves you.
Right.
It might be your dog, cat, something. But at the end of the day, you are loved. And always keep that in mind. No matter what happens, like Coach just said, you're going to have bad days. But you are loved. Somebody loves you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and if they don't, come to Clockwork. We will love you.
We'll love on you, baby.
We love our athletes. We love the people that are here. We build relationships that last a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what we strive to do.
It just, God's there for you. God
Yes, sir.
loves you.
Yes, sir.
Regardless of what you believe in, I'm a Christian and God loves you, and I've had the wonderful privilege of getting closer to God and closer to Jesus and becoming a better Christian and living my life in the way He has it set out for me. And He's put so many things in my life, so many people in my life that are just here to look out for me and love me. And it's just He loves you, and you're in His will, and He has a plan for you, and you just need to talk to Him. He's so much love, so much kindness, and it's life-changing.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
dig that, man. I dig
Great
that.
job.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. We was at church right now. I would pass one of those plates, tell everybody to fill their joint up, man. Way to drop that word, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
So, y'all listen, man. Again, check my boy out, man. Hey, tell me when the next meet, man. Let the people know when your next meet gonna be so they can be checking you out.
All right. Our first meet of the season is October 8th. It'll be at Emmanuel College. So you could probably tune in at whatever website they have going on that Emmanuel has. They'll post it up. You can watch the meet probably, and then they'll have it up on Meet Mobile.
Okay.
Meet Mobile is a great way to keep track of all the meets.
Okay. Y'all hear what it is, man. Check my boy out. He's a grinder and he loved Jesus, man. So shout out to Coach Malone. He be showing love here in the land of Clockwork, man. So listen, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all check us out. Y'all know we love you, baby. God bless. Zip 'em up.